Hi and welcome to my channel. In this video, a sister calls out all of us women of color to be careful with jealous white women. Yeah, you heard me right. Because she feels they have not yet understood their jealousy and where it's coming from, especially on women of color who are successful, pretty, or those who have something good going on for them. Because of this, white women don't know how to react when they see as successful, because they have been taught that that's not how it's supposed to be. Let's check out her video.
Guys, I really don't care how this sounds, but this is not an attack on white women. This is simply in defense of women of color. Please be careful when it comes to jealous white women. From what I've noticed, jealous white women are some of the most vicious, scary, and downright violent personalities out there. People can talk about jealous black women, people can talk about jealous women, but when someone is used to having something their way for so long, it's almost like a spoiled child getting, like separated from their Xbox, or like not getting sweets, or not getting to stay up, or something like that. It's like they haven't done this emotional work needed to suppress, or I guess express, or understand their jealousy and where it's coming from. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're a white woman and you're listening to this, please do the work necessary to understand where your jealousy towards women of color who are successful or pretty or have something good going for them, where that's coming from, because it is negatively affecting women of color, especially black women. Because the narrative has always said that black women are supposed to be the best friend in movies. They're supposed to be the supporting characters. They're not supposed to be the main character. So when a lot of, I notice, white women, there's an internalized sort of misogyny there, but it's also racism, at its core, systemic racism, because movies have always portrayed white women, white people as the saviors, as the protagonists, as the main character. So when you see a person of color, oftentimes when you see a black woman especially winning, you don't know how to react, because you have been taught that this is not the way things should go. So I'm not trying to be aggressive or whatever, I'm trying to give it to you straight. And black women, be careful. If you work with white women who you can tell are jealous of you, don't really show them what's going on. Don't tell them. Honestly, if you notice they're on that side of being jealous, I'm not saying be reserved, but just, tread lightly, because you don't want them to implode and do, commit something or do something very, damaging to you, your career, your reputation, your health, your mental health. So beware, guys, beware.
Now, a lot of black sisters are reaching higher and higher accolades across industries, but it is still an uphill to receive the credibility of white women because of the notion that they are always taught about us. A number of people have stitched this video, so let's take a look at some of them and hear what they have to say about this. Here are the stitchers.
Please be careful when it comes to jealous white women.
I know this sister here is talking in regards to white women, to black women in the workplace, and I seen that, and it's super nasty, and I don't want to take anything away from that. I just wanted to build and add on to it. White men in the workplace, in the corporate workplace, are the absolute worst. Also, when you got to deal with a lot of microaggressions and real aggressions just to survive. Me and my partner were just having this conversation the other day. He's a director in a company, and he was saying how he makes reports and this and that, and the white woman on top of him that's above him, she'll get his reports, put her name on it, don't make any changes, and get the credit for it. There's so many different things that we have to deal with in the workplace. I literally seen two white men cussing, screaming, about to fight in the middle of the whole company, walk back to their desk and nothing happened. I would have been called into HR immediately. I would have probably been let go that day. HR never even contacted them. It is a different space, different rules, different everything when you have this hue, this color in a lot of these spaces. And one of the biggest lies we've been told, in my opinion, that life is fair. Life is not fair. Life is not fair in these corporate spaces. So I say document everything. Even though HR works for the company, not the individual, work with HR when you can, but just don't expect a lot of them either. Expect a lot out of them either, because they work for the company. Like I said, they're there to protect the company's best interest. They're not to protect the employee's best interest, regardless of what they say. I had another coworker who I seen go into managers' offices and curse them out and turn around and walk back to his desk. He's still there. They let me go. Any conversation that we have as black people that is not the status quo, that is not toting the line, that is challenging ideas and policies and procedures that we may need better clarification on, or we may not agree with, we could say it in any manner, and that's normally seen as aggressive, and you get labeled a aggressive black man or black woman. And once you get that label in the corporate space, good luck to you. Make sure you're prayed up, because they're trying to get you out of there in most instances in that case. And the same rules do not apply to other people. And I've had this conversation with so many of my friends and family members that are in these corporate spaces, and I say any job is a corporate space because they're all run by corporations. It doesn't matter what your title is, but the rules that we have to abide by and how they move the goalpost, and they dangle the carrot in front of you, and as soon as you get near the carrot, they move it back, and then they tell you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, whatever that means. So protect your space, protect your mental, set up your boundaries in these corporate spaces, and just prepare, because these other people are not playing fair. But to play the game, to get the check, if we're going to be in these spaces, we have to play the game somewhat and protect ourselves. Peace.
Simply
I live between 3 countries, and she's not lying, especially European women. I have friends from Europe, so I am not racist. I am just simply giving my experience. Most people globally have watched African American women and women of African descent on TV, and they think that that is how all African American women behave. So when they meet a woman who's educated, well-spoken, beautiful, well-manicured, they don't know how to handle it. They also are extremely jealous that their husbands, their fathers, their uncles, all of the men in their lives literally stare at you the entire time that you are out in a restaurant or wherever you are, market. They are highly attracted to women of African descent. White women do not know how to handle this. In America, I have experienced this in corporate America, but in Europe, you experience this in the markets. They literally act like toddlers or mean girls.
So if you get a chance, go back and watch that video, because she speaks a lot of truth. And I experienced the same thing on multiple occasions, but what stuck out most recently is this job I had when I was in my 20s. And I'm like almost 40 now, so that was a while ago, but there was this job that I had, and it was all white women. And I mean, I was the only black woman, only just me. And they kept complaining because I guess I dressed too nicely. And I did. I was always raised, you look nice when you leave the house. You know, I always have my hair done, my natural hair done, you know, my nails, natural nails done. It wasn't like I was over the top, but I always looked nice. My clothes were always nice, appropriate business attire with heels. And they would get so upset because I dressed up too much. And it just made me think about what she was saying, you know, the jealousy and the not wanting black women to shine. So it's just really interesting that so many women have experienced this. And, you know, I just hope that I just hope that there's more awareness, because I suffered a lot at that job because of how they treated me, because of the jealousy, and I ended up quitting because there was, lies, trying to say I was unprofessional when I've never in my life been unprofessional. They gave me extra tasks that weren't job related. They'd get upset over little things, like I'm 1 minute or 2 minutes late from getting lunch or whatever it was. So it's definitely something that we need to pay more attention to, and to speak up about things like this, because it's not right. So go back and watch a video.
Now, this continued bias is flabbergasting, considering that 30% of businesses in the US are owned by women, with 14% of those women being African American women. Now, according to the 2015 State of Women-Owned Businesses report, with the numbers like this, why are white people still surprised when black women are successful? As in, why? Like, many blame mainstream media, social networking platforms, or even reality TV shows for the forced representation of us women of color. No, we are rude, argumentative, ghetto, or any other falsities you would like to add to the list of labels thrown at us. But perception becomes your reality when you don't broaden your horizon. Sometimes hiring managers make assumptions about professionalism and work output based on the applicant's name. Blacks are ghetto and lazy. Hispanics work harder and blah, 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 blah. Hello? In case you've been living under a rock, laziness and underachieving have no color. So please, underline that. Now, privilege makes one believe that whites are the ones who are supposed to achieve noble success. Women of color have been making a way out of no way for hundreds of years, despite being held back financially and academically. Now, anyone willing to put in the work, regardless of race or gender, can attain credentials and become whatever they so desire. Now, fear makes the privileged white women view minority success as a threat. Let's take a look at some comments from people and hear what they had to say. Now, the first comment reads, yep. I wish I could argue this wasn't the case, but unfortunately, it's true. Most of us whitey women, that's part one. Now, this is a white person commenting like that. They even team up with other palm color women to be hurtful to you. They cannot let their hurt go even after you leave the job. I've lived in Europe and from the US, I approve this message. They do not like not being the center of attention. I've experienced this a lot and didn't think too much of it. They want to be the only ones getting all the love and they get mad so quick. Experienced this growing up too. They'd always ask what my parents did after seeing our home. I never put my finger on it, but this is it, especially at work. Guys, there are just a lot of comments from people agreeing with the sister, and some are even sharing their experiences as well. Now, for years, systems have been strategically implemented to prevent women of color from securing homes, jobs, and loans. Yet so many refuse to acknowledge the privilege and archaism behind it. What do you think about this? Make sure to share your thoughts in the comments or your experience in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video. From me, it's a bye-bye, and see you in my next video.